Chapter 1. Another dull weeknight. A school-aged boy sits on a drab bed cover in a dimly lit room while his family dithers about downstairs. A digital clock reads 8:10, just less than 2 hours before the submission deadline. He stares on at an empty page which ought to be filled with 1,000 words on a book he hadn't read. He sighs, shuffling about the open windows on the computer screen as if an animal pacing about its enclosure. After this batch of busy work would come the next, each passing moment spent on another inconsequential assignment brought with it a decline of the senses, decay of the body, and dwindling of the spirit. An extended exhale quells an ache in the legs and twinge in the wrists. Familiar desire pangs flaring up in lieu of a more germane destination than ticking the boxes of some insipid rubric between fruitless respites loitering about a two-dimensional backlit cul-de-sac of dribble, drivel, gossip, slop, squib puff, and Solum pop. Without a second thought, he reaches for a pair of headphones resting on the bedside table, places them over his ears, and pushes play. Comes about in the sounds, and he looks up to find a tall figure, cloaked in a dark robe, standing at the foot of his bed. "Who?" he begins, but stops short, seemingly interrupted by an enduring spell of silence. The figure raises its arms. The lights in the room fade and are replaced with a gentle blue glow. "Come now." A man's voice echoes through the mind of the boy. "The heart calls, and we must go at once." "But where?" He glances about the room, to the door, and then out the window and into a dark sky. "What about..." "Everything good you leave behind will find you again," says the man. "Do not be afraid." A final muffled fuss leaks through the floorboards from below. And then, with a turn of the page, off they went. Gather round, you spellbound, sick and aching souls. I have a recipe for ecstasy, I'll trade with you for gold. So the one you crave is blasé, disinterested or blue. She'll come around with just a drop of a proper Rhodesian brew. If you're certain she is fairest, you'll need an iron pot. Now assemble the essentials, rose ginseng and bergamot. Belladonna's always drama, poisonous in bloom. So when you bring her to a boil, be mindful of the fumes. Now this part's tricky, pay attention, or you'll spoil the elixir. A mating pair of turtle doves bound before her picture. Recite the incantation and then toss them in the pot. Perhaps I hadn't mentioned this one's not for the faint of heart. Step has always kept the recreant from bluffing. Once the mix is cool, a dance of courage, wit, and cunning. Hurry now, you've not much time to set a plan in motion and sneak a sip between her lips from a cup of Lover's Potion. Foxglove sprig in a basket fights the cold. Blood red lips in a black dress sweep across the moon and cut my soul. She's been practicing magic since 7 years old. With the world's eyes vacant in panic, her story unfolds. She's been practicing magic since 7 years old. Not the same old rabbit and hat trick we've all been sold. Time and time before. Green-eyed cat on a mattress hawks the wall. send of her magic wand. She's been practicing magic since 7 years old. With the world's eyes vacant in panic, her story unfolds. She's been practicing magic since 7 years old. Not the same old rabbit in a hat trick, we've all been sold time and time before. Remember Jack, that jolly fellow? These days he's a bit more mellow. Things took a turn in a strange twist of fate when a girl showed up at his garden gate. Like any affair, things started slow. He'd bring her flowers, she'd put on a show. Not of the cloth, though gifted to sew. How quickly she had him wrapped up in the throes. Run, Jack, the big surprise. A sticky silken web of lies. The tunnel of love is her funnel for blood. Sure is your demise. I know it's dull as a fly on the wall. Come to the light and I'll show you all. Once the fool has run dry of his gold, then she's his soul. Know what it means. A husband either estranged or deceased. Likely all of it feigned for the fleece. Nothing true blue of that sporty timepiece. If you know fool, you know the type to spin him right up before she hangs him high. Perhaps he thought things were going steady, but the hourglass was growing bottom heavy. Run, Jack, the big surprise. A sticky silken web of lies. The tunnel of love is her funnel for blood. Sure is your demise. I know it's dull as a fly on the wall. Come to the light and I'll show you all. Once the fool has run dry of his gold, then she's his soul. But his covetous eyes dared not stray from that ample behind. Poor chap fell to his knees long before he jumped right through the open trap door. drops in from time to time, doesn't quite speak with the usual chime. Thought 'twas a match, but heaven could make. He had a thing for legs, and she had 8.
I'll start the car, you grab your shoes. The Candy Castle closed, the Corpse Cadaver raffle of Halloween and Low. They had a couple tickets to the midnight show, and guess who won? Oh, it'll be fun, I promise. Come on, babe, don't drive me nuts. You know I yearn for gore and guts. Besides, traffic might be light tonight, despite the rights of fright. And hey, I'll even split a big old bag of popcorn with my girl. Well, you can have your own.
There's nothing like the thrill next to you. A bump in the night, babe. It's your heat that keeps me cool. Doing that right thing. I'd be wise to hold my tongue. It's you I love most, babe. But tonight I'm lost for blood.
Baby, what a show. They hooked us quick, then dished it slow. You know, sometimes it's hit or miss to put the kiss before the twist, but hey, how about that part where she turned around and there he was? Not your cup of tea, huh? Tell you what, when we get back, babe, you can rest, I'll run a bath. Would a subtle couple bubbles help me bustle out of trouble or double it? Have you moved that thing to somewhere else since we used it last? Oh, forget about it.
There's nothing like a thriller next to you. A bump in the night, babe. It's your heat that keeps me cool. Doing that right thing. I'd be wise to hold my tongue. It's you I love most, babe. But tonight I'm lost for love.
Well, babe, you're tough to crack, but just you wait, I'll get the knack. Somehow she keeps her powers about her with me howling through the witching hour. But hey, I should pull the blinds because look, the moon is full. Come here, babe. I feel something coming on. Solemn silken lullaby calls me from behind. Mother of the waters and her 7 saintly daughters sing to me a song, and I go walking off the side. Ooh, just one moment.
the stars. That I was born in, sand beneath my fingertips, salty on my tongue. 7 somber sisters are surrounding in a whisper. The coven of the oceans claim me for
This is Madam Belvedere, and I'm pleased to take your call. Let's begin with a brief description of what holds you in thrall. It may take a moment before the crystal starts to kick, but I charge you by the minute, so you ought to make this quick. Madam, I'm in trouble, hopelessly out of sorts. Every moment I am bludgeoned by the cudgel of my thoughts. In each and every dream he'll be there staring back with dread. Ever since she left, my reflections are crimson red. shrouded in a heavy haze of gray. So we can only wonder if the color's here to stay. I don't do this often, but you are a special case. Hold on just a moment, and I'll pass this down the chain. There you are. Go on. As ever, crystal clear. What you reflect is yours to choose. If the mirror doesn't break, then evil becomes you.
Cursed compass in an endless spin as daylight's decay brings a dreadful din. Who won't be humbled when the canopy rumbles? Here comes a tale of a night in the jungle. Harrowing howls from high above send signal below to the start of the hunt. A fearless fool may fondle the foil, but the surviving sage sinks to the soil. Press on, young knight, we must make haste. Made of stone. No beast but an entrance secluded, not fangs but pillars of ruin. A rush in the brush and his hair stands on end. Now is the time to draw your blade, my friend. footing, stumbles and tumbles. Chin up, my friend, there's no time to grumble. To your chagrin, the walls are closing in. To his knees in a bout of fatigue. Worry not next what horror befalls, and find yourself in a ceremonial hall. Stand gilded statues of idols condemned. But one ray of starlight pierces the dome and fixes upon a leather-bound tome. Prophesied glory or evil incarnate, what secrets forbidden lie wait in the parchment? Himself to embrace the unknown when a voice
provocateur to dance about the tones. You were supposed to toil on in glutton and lust, and now I must see to it you do not become like us.
I've been saving a revelation. Couldn't help but notice, oh, this story we've been sold has lost its focus on second go. Time is high to turn those weary eyes to sunlight. They're only shadows on the wall. Won't you stand tall and proud and sing that Solum spell out? We'll turn the wicked back to dust now. Late at night I wonder who you'll call upon the trumpet in the coming dawn. Well, here I am. You go marching right on with your light on. There's no need to be afraid, my son. I'll be in your heart and in your hand. la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. If you would stay till morning, I'll read to you my rhyme. You should know I love this story. I wouldn't dare to waste your time or mine. Stoplight, traffic on the turnpike. Can't be late for date night. This'll be my test. She's zooming, cherry red coupe, cruising, stereo still booming. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Often I get the chance to shine. Here my favorite ending is with your hand in mine. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la